Hey crew, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun video we're going to be unboxing, looking at, and reviewing a new laser engraver. Now if you guys remember, we looked at the Wizmaker Artisan Wand desktop CNC machine. They were very happy with that review, and they asked me to also review what we are looking at in today's video. They asked me to look at their new Wizmaker laser engraver. This is a 12-watt laser, and it is called the Wand. There you see the photo of what it will look like fully assembled. Come in this nice compact box, and I can tell everything is packaged carefully to where nothing can be damaged during the shipping process. This arrived on the doorstep the other day. I'm always happy and excited to open a new laser and show it to you guys over here on the YouTube platform in the hopes that it will inspire you guys to maybe pick up one of these very versatile tools to have in your garage or workshop. So without further ado, let's move the camera, get the card table set up, and get this new laser unboxed and looked at. And I'm going to use my Swiss Army knife to cut the tape on the box, and right on top is the instruction manuals. And after removing the foam, you can see that everything is packaged exceptionally well. We have another pair of safety glasses, and I went on and put those on my head. But everything was packaged exceptionally well and couldn't move around or shake around during the shipping process. But here is everything that's included, and I'll consult the instruction manual so we can begin the assembly process. And this is the most streamlined assembly process I have ever seen on a diode laser engraver. The companies are making the process so simple for people who have never used laser engravers. As a matter of fact, there was only 6 bolts that I had to put in to fully assemble the laser, and you just seen me doing that. And then I am tightening down the roller rod with the included bolts that are already preset. And then it was time to hook up the laser head itself. Again, this is a 12-watt laser, and then connect all of the cables. But a very straightforward process, and the instruction manual was very well written. But now it is fully assembled, and we are ready for testing. And here we have the fully assembled 12-watt Wizmaker Wand laser engraver, and let me tell you crew, this was by far, of all the lasers that I've ever had to do any assembly to, was the easiest laser to ever assemble for me out here in the workshop. There was only 6 screws in the whole entire thing that I had to put in. I know a lot of lasers come with several little minute screws, and you have to keep track of them. It did come with a spare belt. It come with all the wrenches you need to tighten everything down. You have the little wrench there for adjustment with the pulley wheels. Again, everything was basically pretty much assembled, and I had to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again 6 screws, and the laser was pretty much ready to go. Then I had to put on the laser head, put the rod on and tighten it down. Of course, that was a couple screws, but they were already in place from the factory. So very straightforward process. So I'm very pleased with this from Wizmaker. I hope it does just as good as their Artisan CNC machine. The instruction manual that came with it is very robust and in several different languages. You have very clear diagrams on how to use both the Laser Gerbil software, which is a free software, and the Lightburn software. Now you guys know that I love to use the Lightburn software, and that is the software I will use for all of the tests in today's video. All that's left to do now is to attach it to a laptop, attach it to power, turn it on, and start testing it. Now anytime you use a laser like this, especially if they're out in the open, more appropriately they should go into an enclosure, so please be sure to wear some safety UV goggles. Each laser pretty much comes with its own set of goggles. Thank you Wizmaker for including these. I have the shop door open for ventilation, and while the laser is running, we will have the air filtration unit on at all times. So let's transition into the footage where we are going to be testing the Wizmaker 12-watt Wand laser engraver. And the very first test I am going to do is a laser belt alignment test. The belts on this laser were pre-installed, so I didn't have to thread them through the pulleys or stepper motors, so I was keen to see if they were tensioned properly. And this is a test my buddy Sam at Knighthood Creations designed. And it's just a scrap piece of 1/4 inch material. And obviously all of the footage here is sped up. We'll look at everything in greater detail before we get ready to close the video. But then I was ready to take another sample piece of 1/4 inch material and do a material test to see how well it would engrave and cut on the material. And for all of the tests here, I am using the Lightburn software. And as you can see, I have the laser set up by the shop door. I have my safety UV goggles on. I have the air filtration unit on, and keeping the workshop as ventilated as possible. But now we will do a leather iron-on patch. All of the settings here were different. I was either going faster or slower depending on the material, but custom leather patches are a great item to make and sell over on Laser Engravers. And what I have here is the Klingspor Woodworking Shop logo. I've got it dropped into the Lightburn software, and I've just got it taped, the leather patch taped onto the honeycomb spool board. And it took around 5 minutes to do this. Came out nice and crisp. Really cool. And then another thing laser engravers are great for is poster board stencils for spray painting or airbrush purposes. And this is a 50 star file for the United States of America flag. If you wanted to make some of these and spray paint the stars on as opposed to cutting all 50 of them out. It only took around 6 or 7 minutes for the laser to cut out this readily available poster board that's available in most stores. It would also be a great way to cut out pumpkin carving stencils. And now we are going to be doing a slate drink coaster, and I have imported the turtle logo from my mom's ceramic business. And I'm doing it kind of off-centered. You can get the slate drink coasters in bulk packs off of sites like Amazon, and they make great and unique gifts if you make them and sell them in sets of 4. I want to once again thank Wizmaker for trusting me with this review, and all of the affiliate and social links for Wizmaker will be linked down in the description box below. And if you guys are new to the channel, hopefully you'll click the subscribe button and also follow me across all my social media feeds under the Artisan Pirate name. I'd really appreciate the support. But the laser's almost done with the drink coaster, and now we will do our final test on a scrap piece of 3mm craft plywood, and this material is commonly associated with laser engravers, but I am laser cutting out a small miniature 3D Christmas ornament, and it took around 10 minutes for the laser to do all of this. Again, obviously the footage is sped up for time purposes. But once this was done, all of our tests will be complete, and I'll assemble the little Christmas ornament off camera and I'll show it to you guys before we head over to closing the video. Here is how it looks fully assembled, and I think right out of the box this Wizmaker 12-watt wand laser engraver would be a great addition to a garage or workshop, and I hope you like the 6 tests we have done in today's video. And that, crew, is going to about wrap up our review for the Wizmaker 12-watt wand Laser Engraver. I want to thank Wizmaker once again for trusting me with this review. As always with this style of video, any affiliate links and contact links for Wizmaker will be linked down in the description box below this video. Right out of the box, this laser was ready to go. And again, as I said, after the assembly process, it only took 6 screws to fully assemble it, and we were ready to connect it to power and to a laptop, and we were ready to rock and roll. And one very cool thing about this is, from the unboxing, the assembly, and all of the tests, it only took me around 2 hours time this morning to do everything I am about to show you. So if you have never had a laser engraver out in your garage or workshop and you're wanting to get into the world of laser engraving, I feel like this would be a great option for the beginner. Keep in mind, for all of the tests I am getting ready to show you, I used the paid, it's a paid software called Lightburn. That is the laser software I am most familiar with, but if you do not want to buy or purchase a laser software, you can pick up and use Laser Engraver. I do believe that is a free software, but everything here I'm getting ready to show you was done on the Wizmaker 12-watt laser. You've seen most of the process in today's video, and they were done on the Lightburn software. Now, the first thing I did, and keep in mind, when we assembled this, we did not have to do any of the belts, the pulleys, or the stepper motors or anything. So that was really cool, and it really streamlined the process. But since everything was kind of preset, I wanted to double check and do the laser belt alignment test. And that was the first test we done, and my good friend Sam at Knighthood Creations designed this file a couple years ago, and it's just a bunch of geometrical shapes and everything, and what you basically want to make sure of is that everything intersects and connects properly. It takes about 6 minutes to do this test, and you can see that everything intersects and connects perfectly and seamlessly, and the words on it are reversed. It was reversed for something else, and I didn't notice it when I hit start on the file. But again, that is not what I was interested in. I was interested in making sure everything here connected and intersected properly. So really cool with that, made out of 1/4" material. But after it was done with that, we done a laser test material, and this is a file that I personally designed in Lightburn when I started to really get a grasp on the software and laser engravers in general. And keep in mind, this laser does not have air assist on it right out of the box. I don't know if it can be added to it, but with air assist, you have that fine stream of air to where, you know, everything can come out a lot more cleaner and crisper. But this is another file that takes around 6 minutes to do. And as you can see here at the top, it says material test, speed 300, power 89%. With these diode laser engravers, you do not want to run them all the time wide open at a full 100%. Again, in the Lightburn software, you can toggle from 0% all the way up to 100%. So 89%, you want to play around with the settings and find that sweet spot to where it can just cut through something without overdoing it, if that makes any sense. But that is why I have 1P, 2P, 3P, and the P represents passes. How many times does it take to go around at this speed and power to completely cut through something? And you can see on the reverse side here, it almost completely done it on 1 pass, but of course it did do it in 2 and 3 passes, and this is the standard 1/4" material I like to use on the other laser engravers. I feel like this is a great material to use. We do have a test here with the 3mm material that I'll show you lastly, but it went through this like butter, again with no air assist. After that, I wanted to do a patch, and this is a leather iron-on patch. You can pick them up in bulk off of Amazon, and you can put them on a trucker hat, on the sleeve of a shirt for something neat, on the pocket of a jacket or something like that. I've got one of these made with the pirate logo, and I've got it ironed onto the book bag that I put all my cameras in when I travel and go to film outside of the workshop. But this took around 4 minutes to do, and this is the Klingspor's Woodworking Shop logo. You guys know Klingspor and both Rikon and so many companies have been so kind to me, but Klingspor, of course, is at the top of that list. But you can see how nice and crisp that is, centered perfectly, and again it has that adhesive backing. When you heat it up with an iron, you can put it on wherever you want to, so that's really cool. and you could knock those out for a business, you know, make a whole team of people's shirts. It might say staff or a company logo or hats with the logos. The skies is the limit. Next, I wanted to try laser cutting poster board. Now keep in mind, this is a paper-like material, and with the nature of the laser, I hope it goes without saying you never want to leave these tools unattended. You can of course walk away to get a drink, use the restroom or something like that, but the paper and paper products, cardboard if you want to do those, would have a tendency to ignite, so just be aware of that. And appropriately, these should be in a proper enclosure. I had on these safety UV goggles the whole time it was running. The air filtration unit was running in the roof of the workshop, and the shop door was open, keeping the air quality out here as clean as possible. But you guys know I am a huge advocate of keeping the lasers in a proper enclosure to extract all of those fumes and everything. But it took around 6 minutes for the laser to do all 50 of the stars, and look how nice and crisp they all came out. And this is just some poster board we picked up at the Hollow store relatively inexpensively. So this would be great for airbrush purposes, for spray painting purposes, you know, especially if you've done pumpkin carving stencils, you could easily transfer them to the pumpkins during the Halloween season. If you wanted to make patriotic American flags, since we are in America's 250th birthday this year, you could of course lay this on the wood and spray paint it, you know, spray paint the white on it over some blue. So that'd be really cool. It'd be a great alternative as opposed to carving out all 50 of those stars with a Dremel tool or something. But really, really neat there. Then we done a slate drink coaster. Again, this is stuff that can be picked up in bulk off of places like Amazon. I think Temu sells them. You know, so many sites sell them. Some stores actually sell them as well. But here we have a slate drink coaster with a tropical turtle. This is part of my mom's logo, but with it being offset here, I could go back and add to this by putting some bubbles in it, like it was down in the ocean depths, a little starfish or the sun or something, or even some words at the top. But it took around 8 minutes to do that, and you can actually feel the engraving on here, so that's really cool. Very minimal setup to do a slate drink coaster. You just clear coat it, wait for it to dry, load your file, and you are ready to go. And of course the power and the speed settings were different for everything we done in today's video. Again, you want to play around with the settings, and that is a lot of the time you will have over at a laser engraver, dialing in the settings and finding out what works best for the material you are working with. And then the final test we done, we used the commonly associated material with laser engravers, and that is the 3mm craft plywood. And we made a little Christmas house Christmas ornament. So really, really cool here. This was picked up off of the Etsy website. It was in a variety pack, and there was so many different styles. There was different styles in the windows here. But as you can see there where you would put the hook, again, this is made out of the 3mm craft plywood. I believe it's called basswood appropriately. That's other stuff you can also pick up in bulk, but it only took the laser around 10 minutes to make this from start to finish, and I'm really happy with it. It is a slotted and tab design, so really, really neat there, and it went together smoothly, and I just tacked it together with medium grade CA glue and activator off camera. But really, really neat, and I hope that this shows you what can be made on a diode laser engraver out in your garage or workshop. And now keep in mind, I just scratched the surface here and what can be done. That was 6 simple tests that I had ready to go. And again, from when we cut the tape on the box with a Swiss Army knife to the assembly process to all of the tests, it only took around 2 hours this morning out in the workshop. So again, I feel like this would be a great starter laser if you wanted to get into the world of laser engraver. Once again, all of the affiliate links and contact links for Wizmaker will be linked down in the description box below this video. And speaking of this video, that's going to about wrap it up for this one. Hopefully from the beginning intro until now, as we are closing the video, it has inspired you to maybe look at the Wizmaker products, especially their Wizmaker desktop CNC and their laser engravers. But really, really cool. That's going to be about all for this one. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you'll click that subscribe button and also follow me across all my social media feeds under the Artisan Pirate name. As always, links to contact me as well as all my social media feeds will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one, crew. And remember, if I can make it or do it, so can you guys. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you all real soon.